Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance, and this is an Excelsior. It's a British heavy tank. It's a tier 5 premium British heavy tank, and we're located on the north spawn of Redshire, which is a recreation of the English countryside. And the commander of this tank is Marybanks of Philo. And we're just waiting for the battle to start, and we're away. Well, what can I tell you about the Excelsior? Well, it's actually quite a tough little tank. So long as you actually have your face to the enemy and they're firing at your front, it's actually quite solid. You don't want to present your sides to the enemy because the sides of this tank are fairly weak. So if they can actually get your sides, then they can penetrate your hull quite easily. But other than that, it's actually quite a good little tank, especially considering it's only tier 5. And I thoroughly recommend, if you're going to go up the British line to get British heavies, then it's well worth getting an Excelsior as a crew trainer. I know for a fact that TC3 of Philo actually 3 marked his Excelsior. And TC plays a lot of tanks, so and he has a lot of premiums as well, so he should know which are the good tanks. And of course, if he's 3 marked it must be a good tank. I also know that TC has 3 marked his Comet as well, but I think that's mainly because the Comet is definitely a good tank. It's one of those keepers. Okay, now Marybanks is going in against that M8A1, which is a tier 4 US tank destroyer. And on the other side, oh well, there's a whole selection. Oh, there's a Lux. Well, she gets a good first hit on that Lux, but she did receive a hit as well. Oh, she's getting some good hits on there, but she's blocking a lot of damage from the enemy. And a lot of the rounds that are being fired at her are APCR. They're gold noobs. Yeah, she's having difficulty penetrating that KV-220 though. They're very, very tough tanks. And she's receiving some fire from enemy Arty as well. Now, aim for the weak points, Mary. And the mantlet, she managed to get a round through the mantlet. She's firing standard AP, and she's got some more damage. And another round in. And she's blocking a lot of damage, but she is actually starting to receive some. She's now up to 324 hit points of damage from that KV-220. Oh, ouch. Well, that was unfortunate. The KV-220 managed to survive the fire, but he has gone down now. So Mary may have done enough to help her team win. Well, they've got 1 tank advantage now at the moment. And it appears they actually have captured the east side of the map. They've captured the heavy tank area. And that, I think, is down to Marybanks, because she was actually fighting off more than 1 tank at once there. She was receiving rounds from the KV-220, the Lux, and some of the others. And she blocked damage of 910 hit points during that exchange. But she gave as good as she got, because she did damage of 867. And I think her team are actually starting to make that work pay dividends, because they are now getting close to the enemy cap. And they're 4 tanks ahead now. So I think losing the KV-220 was crucial to winning the battle. 5 tanks ahead now. And they've effectively captured the cap, because the Lux is the only tank down there. Always found the enemy Arty. And I think that enemy Arty won't last very long. The Lux is quite a devastating tank when it comes to Arty, because he can pump in those shells with the autocannon. Now, the Lux is probably going to go after that Sherman. Oh, Sherman's just been taken out by the M4. I'm sorry we can't actually see this battle going on. It does help actually if you're in this battle like this and you are killed early, if you switch to the next nearest tank on your team. But they've managed to complete the battle and they've won. So I think that a lot of the congratulations has to go to Marybanks, because if she hadn't actually done that damage to the KV-220, I don't think the rest of the team would have been able to effectively capture this side of the map. So let's have a look at the end of battle stats, and it's a third class tanker for Marybanks of Philo in the Excelsior. She also picked up a fire for effect for getting more damage than the hit points of her own vehicle, and a cool-headed award because she survived at least 10 ricochets or non-penetrations in a row from the enemy players. Now, when it comes to damage, she was second on the table with 867. She was beaten by the M4, who managed to get 1266, but he also got 6 kills. And I think Marybanks was taking a lot of the punishment from that KV-220 and dealing out a lot of punishment to him as well, which was the major effect of actually capturing that corner of the map. She also managed to get the third highest base XP of 525, behind the Sherman and the Panzer II Lux. She fired 13 rounds, got 13 direct hits, 100% accuracy, 8 penetrations, did damage of 867 hit points. She received 27 hits, of which 7 were penetrations and 20 were non-penetrations. Shows how tough the Excelsior is. She received 1 hit as a result of splash damage, and that was from the SU-5. She blocked damage of 910 hit points. She spotted 3 of the enemy. She damaged 2 of the enemy, and she didn't get any kills, but she did do damage assistance of 4 hit points. On a premium account, she earned 30,882 credits, and she also received 10,000 credits for a personal mission payout, and after repair, ammunition resupply and consumables, she took away a profit of 34,274 credits, so that's quite a good battle. She received 788 XP, and it was ×3 for the first victory of the day, and she got a personal missions payout of 394 and a premium vehicle payout of 315, bringing her XP total to 3,073 experience points. So that's a good earner, that one. It would certainly bump up the crew's experience by a nice amount. So, well done Marybanks, good battle. Just goes to show exactly how good the Excelsior is, and it's a useful demonstration of the toughness of this little tank, especially when it goes up against something like the KV-220, which is an OP heavy tank with very, very strong armour indeed. So, if you like this replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay that we'll be featuring in the next video.